Lewis from TreadMate.
Great, nice to meet you in person.
Have a seat.
Great, thanks. I know that we're a little limited on time, so I did want to say that if it's okay with you, I'll just jump right into it to make sure that I show you respect that time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Great. One thing I wanted to do actually before I jumped in too is make something clear up front. If there's a takeaway you're going to take away from our initial visit here, I do want to make sure that I'm transparent.
Sure.
I don't want there to be any question as to why I'm here, what I'm trying to do. I also want to make sure that I'm understanding what kind of your expectations for our visit is as well. So,
okay.
To do that though, I thought that it'd be useful to first give you a little bit better understanding of Qualtrics, what we do, and what we've been known for doing. Also, I want to ask you a few questions a little bit about TreadMate to understand you a little bit better.
Sounds great.
Ultimately, I'd like to have a few takeaways to understand maybe some areas that we might be able to add value. I take that back to my team. We schedule another appointment, come back and present those findings to you with really a solution. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. One question I wanted to ask you up front as well, is there any time frame that I should be aware of as far as budgeting or planning that might affect the implementation of any plan that we come up with?
No, I mean, there'll be a few colleagues I talk to, but I have
kind of open, take it as it comes. Okay. Do you mind if I take a few notes as we go along?
No,
great. Okay, well, as far as Qualtrics goes, we've been around for about, we've been around since about 2002. We're a software company that basically helps create software to really manage the entire customer experience. To do that, we gather some data about the client or customer, and then we make that relevant to you in a way that you can use it to actually create a better relationship.
Okay.
One thing, and one of the reasons why we wanted to contact you in the first place is we really have had a lot of experience and really success with the retail space with companies such as Overstock.com, Nike, Foot Locker, 1-800-CONTACTS. Actually, we just had a kind of a plan that went through with them that helped them increase their reorder rate by nearly 4%, which is kind of a big success. But we do know that different retail companies have different kind of purposes or struggles, and I wanted to understand a little bit more about TreadMate if I could. With that too, what I know so far, and if you could fill in the gaps, that would be helpful, is that you've been around since about 2012. You come from J.Crew with, I think, 2 employees that were brought over.
Yep, that's right.
And with the purpose of kind of having a retail company online that can create stylish clothes for kind of the lower to mid-level income consumers. Does that sound right?
Yeah, and we, I just feel like retail is moving online, and that's kind of the way the future for a lot of retail out there. And a lot of efficiencies are gained by just having an online presence, so that's kind of why we like to create this.
Well, stats would prove that as well, so you're in the right place. With that being said, I know that you started seeing sales in 2014, latter part of 2014 with the holiday sales, a little bit of a hiccup, and I know we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah,
you hired since three employees now to keep you up to speed. 2016's here, you're ready to go. One question, if I could, with that is I know that with 2014 what you've seen, and then looking forward into 2016, what are some things that are working well you're expecting to work with?
Well, I mean, we survived kind of the holiday push. We learned a lot about ourselves during that. It almost broke kind of how we fulfilled our orders and how we track a lot of that. We've been looking at some inventory tracking systems since then. But so we did learn a lot there, but we have a lot of room for improvement. I mean, it almost broke us, so we have a lot of improvement that we can work on.
Success that breaks you. That's
success disaster. Yeah.
Sweet and bitter. Okay. What are some metrics that you really use to measure that success with?
Well, so we have Google Analytics. We have finance data and things, so we're able to track kind of our average order sizes, or how many customers are coming back, how much they spend with us. So we have a lot of good data right now on what we're doing.
Okay. Do you feel confident in using that data to provide what really you want to have happen?
Yeah, we feel like we have a good handle on that. The only problem is that we're seeing is we have to implement something and wait for our data to come in from our transactions, etc., to know whether or not that's positive.
So a little bit of a lag.
So yeah, I mean, we track monthly, so it's not like we have to wait 6 months or anything.
Sure.
But even e-commerce and margins are tight.
And a little bit of time can
So
cover
we
different.
want to be as nimble as we can. Right?
Okay. With that being said, also challenges as far as that you have faced, that you're expecting to face in 2016, even with the acquisition of your 2-3 team members.
Yeah, well, holidays are going to be probably hard again. We do pick up in the summertime as well as in the holidays, so we're in a position now that we need to really button things up and make sure we're prepared for our summer lines and things like that.
Okay, so it sounds like to me As far as challenges go, you're pretty confident in the product. Obviously, it's sold, even just by word of mouth, social media that you've been able to sell it. That's great. Obviously, it's important to identify some areas that we can improve. Bad side of that is there are areas we need to improve, but the good side, obviously, is that we know about it. And we can help them. So organizing that data into something that's relevant and useful right now is important, yeah. Now, another question is kind of one of the most important ones, is that if we do not see a quick resolution or as soon as possible to those issues, what you see kind of as the repercussion could be.
Well, our growth is only 6%, which is not, it's not satisfactory for me. And if we don't get more repeat customers, then it's going to be really hard to maintain and grow the business.
Okay. I believe you mentioned that repeat customers are about 9% right now, and growth rate is about 6%. In the industry, and that's true, I mean, this is important you know these things, because actually I brought some information to back that up, that as far as the economy is concerned, or economics and online sales for retail domestically, should be along the lines of about 11%. That gives us some room to grow. But obviously we identify that and we know it. So one product that I really want to bring to your attention, I thought would be appropriate, and we've seen success out in the past, is a product known as Site Intercept. It's kind of been known to providing access to website visitor intelligence, where you get to know who your customers are better. And in doing that, you can prepare a little bit better for what they're going to do, such as holiday sales. You can track a little bit better of understanding where they're coming from, why they're there, how long they're spending there, what they're looking at while they're there. Most importantly, though, and this is kind of something you mentioned as well, is that it gives really the opportunity to gather that data, but it tailors each individual user's experience to that data, and it's real time. So it's not like we're having to wait a while to have that happen. With that being said, you're also looking at a few other features that clients like to kind of see, as far as flexibility in use, how you can actually implement the tools, and you have total control over it. You don't need to have a big IT department, which I know you don't have. So you're actually able to do that by drop and click. It's not rocket science, so it makes it easy. With that being said, it gives you a little bit better of an opportunity for conversion rate as well. And with those benefits there, do you feel that they would kind of give you a little bit better future going into 2016 if you tackle just those?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I thought it'd be useful to take back what I have now, go back with my team, and come back at a later time that we can give you kind of a solution as we see it, and take about a week or two to prepare that. In fact, next Thursday about the same time would work for us. Would that work for you?
Yeah, I think that works.
Great.
Thank you.